Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing. 1, 2, 3.
The blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. We love some chocolate black women. They just love them some blonde-haired, blue-eyed, pink-toed, pale-skinned, buttermilk complexion, iron and board backside, Caucasoid, mutanoid, white cave bitches. I call Brother Myron the Sambo from Sudan.
She belongs to the streets.
She belongs to the streets.
No, the fuck you didn't.
Oh my God.
She belongs to the streets.
I call Brother Myron the Sambo from Sudan.
Now, Jay Blaze. Let's ratchet that back. Jay Blaze out here trying to stab niggas.
The blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. Black power. I love the black woman. I want to say that the black woman is the queen of the planet Earth. She's the mother of civilization. That the black woman is the goddess of the universe.
Oops, did I press that out loud?
The blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. We love some chocolate black women.
You're a fucking loser. You live in your mom's basement. You probably have a 2-inch cock. You sound like a white guy.
Congratulations.
For what?
You said you got a girlfriend.
You're probably a virgin.
So that's a no for Netflix and chill?
Fuck you.
So I'm curious. Tell me about your show. What do you talk about?
I talk about how women ain't shit.
Oh.
What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharp, and welcome to the 825th edition of TSR Live, your daily dose of toxic masculinity and misogyny. It is Friday, January 21st of 2022. It is good to have you guys in this evening. As always, we are multi-streaming live simultaneously to Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, MGTOW.tv, Manosphere.tv, and in crystal clear high-resolution 4K to Sharp Stream, which is absolutely free on the App Store, and Google Play for iOS and Android. So however you're watching, wherever you're watching from, thank you for making the Sharp Reality Live a part of your daily routine. Shout out to the snipers on the Sharp Stream side. Let's go over there and take account of those. We've got Dre Raven, Hellfung, Jay Blaze, Jonathan Vasquez, who just popped in, Cigar Man 85, and of course, the lovely and talented Devin. Dre Raven actually... public service announcement. Sprouts has blackberries on sale this week. Sprouts has blackberries on sale this week. So if you believe,
The blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice.
head on over to Sprouts right now to get your hands on the blackberries that are on sale. I appreciate Dre Raven making that public service announcement for you, boy. Shout out to the sharpshooters on the YouTube side. Let's see, we've got Josh Mays, we've got Geeky Anomaly in the house, Timbo Slice, as always. J Blaze 11 looks like he's double dipping. Geeky Anomaly is in the house. I think I already said him. Let's see who else is there. Cigar Man, Ice Dragon Kid. Good to see you in here as always. See who else we've got. And of course, the lovely and talented Devin. Devin wants to know, who are these geeks? You know, listen, I'm not going to be too hard on them, because I think we all have to understand that not everybody understands what we understand. This is just something that we are going to have to understand. Something that we're going to have to understand. So, Black Wolf Inc. with the $5 super chat says, well, it's time again to enjoy some nice company and roasting of Dine 304 of the day. Let's go. The show.
Over 9,000!
Yeah, the show is going to be way over 9,000, guys. It is going to be way over 9,000. Guys, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Do like it says on the screen. Click the bell. Scroll down to all to be notified anytime I go live by YouTube. When you hit the subscribe button, guys, go to youtube.com/Donovan Sharp. Subscribe, move over to the bell, hit that bell, then go down to all. And remember, share the video, guys. Share the video, get the likes up so we can push this in the algorithm. Looks like the likes are where they need to be. Like Kevin Samuels, I like to stay up around 50% engagement. Guys, be sure to get your hands on my free ebook, 14 questions you'll ask on the first date and how to correctly respond. Just plug in your very best email, and the book, which is packed with coupons and discounts on other courses, is yours. Go to donovansharp.com/newsletter. Takes 7 seconds max. Guys, if you want access to exclusive content, go to patreon.com/DonovanSharp. There you will get access to past shows, the archive, Sharp Shorts, Ask Donovan Q&A, weekend webinars, videos banned from multiple platforms, access to Sharp Stream, and huge discounts on courses. Starting probably in about a month or two, we are going to begin phasing out Patreon. Patreon has been very, very good to us, but Devin, of course, being the computer wizard she is, she built the app. We don't want to be beholden. We don't want to be beholden to any to anybody. We don't want to have to be reported or anything like that. So we are going to start phasing out Patreon. We're going to phase it out very, very slowly. We're not going to do it all at once, so don't worry about that. It's not going to be now you see us. It's not going to be now you see us, now you don't. What we're doing is we are on our way to becoming completely and totally independent. We've already done that with our merchant account. We are free and clear of Stripe. So we do not use Stripe anymore. We use our own payment processor, and our payment processor is our bank. So our bank processes all of our credit card payments, and they love us very, very much. So anybody who tries to do anything, they're gonna be like, fuck you guys. These guys are great customers. We like them very, very much. We've met them face to face. Love my guy out at our bank. Love my guy out at our bank. Dr. Thunder with the $5 super chat says, thanks again for the great interview rendering now. Yeah, so Devin and I did a pretty good sized interview with Dr. Thunder earlier this afternoon before we went and picked up Chester from the vet. Chester's getting on up there in age. So appreciate Dr. Thunder. Hopefully, we will be able to, we can extend his life a little bit. Chester is not old, but he's not a young spring chicken either. That's kind of how it is. Sith Lord Entertainment with a $20 super chat. Give me a second. Let me bring this up here. Says, Donovan, I wanted to ask, what are your thoughts on men who isuba their women as well as those same women who stay in that relationship? Someone I knew recently went through this and is still with the man who did her in. Yeah, what you have to understand is that women who are involved in isuba spelled backwards relationships, they very, very, very rarely leave. This is just... I actually did a podcast on why women stay in isuba spelled backwards relationships. I think it's episode 510. Be sure and go check that out. But I do appreciate the super chat. There as always. Geeky Anomaly on the Sharp Stream side says, "Yup, banks like people," and then I'll just leave it at that. Mark Jr., welcome. Wait a minute, hold on. Mark Jr., welcome to the family over on the Sharp Stream side. Says, what's going on, everyone? Longtime fan, finally joined in. Good to see you guys in here. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys know now. So I asked the Flagrant 2 guys for permission to use their video. I have not heard back from them. I've got my email open. If they haven't answered after my opening monologue, then I'm going to have to shift it to Sharpstream. Sharpstream, of course, is my own private platform. I can say whatever I want. I can broadcast whatever I want. It's my own independent, non-reportable, non-cancelable. This is what we did on the DJ Academics, Brittany Renner, Myron Gaines video snippets, and that is exactly where I will be breaking down that entire podcast, which I've taken the liberty of procuring. And so I'll probably break that down on Monday. But what I'll do is I'm gonna speak on this for a little bit. I've got a nice opening monologue, and my opening monologue is really for Akash and Alex, and I hope I'm pronouncing Akash's name correctly. Boy, listen. There's really no way to start this. So let's just go ahead and get this party started. So the video I am going to break down is the Flagrant 2 podcast that Myron and Fresh made an appearance on. And throughout the podcast, the co-host and the co-hosts and the staff, they threw all kinds of shaming language and sign language at Fresh and Fit. Now, I will say this. Andrew, I think his last name is Schultz. Andrew didn't use sign language or shaming language, okay? He methodically articulated his arguments in such a way that didn't vilify Fresh or Fit or personally insult them. So whether I agree or disagree with Andrew at this point, I can say that he actually listened to Myron and Fresh and based his rebuttals and his talking points off of what they said, and he did it in good faith. Right? I can rightfully say that. Okay. Akash and Alex, on the other hand, those two came off as condescending, virtue signaling men who were just pissed off that Myron spoke with conviction and didn't back down. Now, both guys got into their feelings rather quickly, and they never really got out. Even after Andrew brought the conversation back to the center, Akash especially was extremely intent on making them essentially apologize for their beliefs. And when Myron didn't, dude threw a fit. So before we get to the main event, and I'm still waiting for, to hear back from Flagrant 2. Before we get to the main event, I want just to address a couple of the main elements of the shaming language that Akash and Alex use that are very similar to the shaming language that women use when discussing these particular topics. The first one, number one, who hurt you? Now, Akash must have asked this, I don't know, half a dozen times, right? And guys, we've all heard it, right? We've all seen it. We've seen it here. We've seen it on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, more recently TikTok. Every time women hear unflattering truths about themselves, their go-to argument is, who hurt you? Now, there are a few reasons people like to ask people like myself and Myron and Fresh this in debates. And I want you to keep in mind, this is a rhetorical question. Okay, they don't really want the answer. Who hurt you is essentially a make-believe mic drop, is what it is. That's really what it is. It's a make-believe mic drop. They treat it like the big joker. They think that as soon as they ask who hurt you, that they have won the argument. But getting back to the reasons men and now, or women and now men, not Andrew, but the other guys, ask this disingenuous question in bad faith, there are three main reasons. The first reason people like Akash and Alex ask who hurt you is because they know they don't have an answer to what you're asserting. They know that what you said, posted, tweeted, live streamed is 747% true. But as we all know, people will never acknowledge immutable truths about themselves if it puts them in a bad light, especially women. And men who cape up for these hoes, they're just as bad. Now, we all know that women avoid accountability like the plague, right? But they are deathly allergic to anything that makes them look bad. So when any given woman hears a guy like me say, well, most women don't break up with their boyfriends until they've started seeing someone else first. They go into damage control mode. They deny it vehemently, knowing full well that she herself has someone waiting in the wings in her current relationship. Guys, I'm here to tell you, women are professional liars, cheaters, and public relations managers. They are their own best and only client. This is why they go absolutely freaking mental every time someone suggests that they aren't these amazing, beautiful, spectacular beings completely above reproach. You guys saw how Brittany Renner responded to Myron when he told her she wasn't special, right? The second reason who hurt you is a go-to shaming tactic that people like Akash and Alex like to use to disqualify us, is to disqualify us as an authority. To disqualify you as someone who has no idea what he's talking about. When people ask who hurt you in this context, they indirectly want you to believe that they believe that if you have failed with a woman, then you are automatically barred from giving anyone advice about dealing with women. Interestingly enough, they never apply that same standard to anything else. For example, Stephen Curry. Okay? Stephen Curry has missed a lot of shots in his career. In fact, he's missed most shots he has taken in his NBA career. So if he were to do a video or a tutorial on how to shoot, would people be asking, okay, Mr. Curry, you're in the NBA, but how many shots have you missed? Of course not. Why? Because we all know he's the greatest shooter in NBA history. And to become the shooter he is today, he had to hone his craft. He had to practice. He had to take a lot of shots, which means he had to miss a lot of shots. And by missing shots, he learned what to do and, most importantly, what not to do. Even men who are still plugged in would readily acknowledge that it would be silly to base their opinion on Stephen Curry based on his missed shots. So when people like Akash and Alex ask, who hurt you? They're really telling Stephen Curry that he's not a very good shooter because he's missed a lot more shots than he's taken during his life. As ridiculous as that sounds, gentlemen, this is what they're telling us. They're telling us that we're not qualified to speak about how to handle women because we failed with more women than we've had success with. Now, obviously, we know this is bullshit because even they understand that getting good at anything requires practice and repetition. They know that practice and repetition comes with failure. And with failure comes adjustments, and with the proper adjustments, success is the next step. Pointing to someone's failures as a response to their success is about as dumb as trying to nail a Jell-O to a tree. The third reason they use this disingenuous tactic is actually kind of tied to the second reason. Yes, pardon me, people love to point to our failures with women as a way to disqualify us as experts. But they also like to point to our failures with women to simply point and laugh at us. To highlight the fact that, yes, we have endured emotional pain at the hands of a woman. They are pointing the finger at you and saying, ha ha, you got played, you got your heart broken. Heather, my other assistant, tells me that there are always a few people in my comments telling me, you're still not over your breakup with Amy, or Tatiana played you like a fiddle, or Victoria cheated on you with her ex-boyfriend and you're still salty about it. All they're doing here is pointing out something bad happened to me and laughing about it. They're pointing and laughing at the fact that, yes, I've had my heart broken. Yes, I've been played. Yes, I've been made to look like a fool by more women than I care to admit. Now, they ask who hurt you in this context to humanize you. They do this to take you down a peg, to let everyone know that you have cried about a woman or that you made a fool of yourself because of a woman or a woman made you look bad. And the reason they do it, stay with me here, the reason they do it is because they respect the authority with which you speak, and it scares them and sometimes even pisses them off because they wish they could speak with the same authority and conviction as you do. And as you will see, this will clearly be the case with Akash when I break this down, which looks like it's going to be exclusively on SharpStream. You guys can download, I'm always pointing in the wrong direction. You guys can download the SharpStream app right now. You can download the SharpStream app right now for Android or iOS. Anyway, you are so rock solid and precise with your talking points that guys like Akash and Alex, they subconsciously think, oh, this guy's actually convincing. I mean, I know he's telling the truth. But most red pill guys are dorks and incels, but this dude is well put together. He speaks well. His thoughts are organized, and he's describing the kinds of things women do to the letter. I need to make him look stupid by letting everyone know that he's not Mr. Perfect and that he's been humiliated by a woman before. That entire subconscious thought pattern manifests itself through the words, who hurt you? And when spoken in this context, haters are not only co-signing what you're saying, they're also telling you that they admire you, and women might even be turned on by you. It's almost like an indirect, purposeless shit test. Now, normally, when you start talking to a girl and she starts to feel herself becoming attracted to you, it is in her programming to test you to ensure that you are indeed who you present yourself to be. When a woman asks, who hurt you? She's doing almost the same thing. She's not really asking you this to throw you off. She thinks she is, but she isn't. No, what she's really doing is she is testing you to see. She is testing to see if, well, through this really disingenuous rhetorical question that is asked in bad faith 100 times out of 100, if you really are who you present yourself to be. Because if you can, it verifies your sexual market value. Case in point. You guys remember Silver Sable, right? Amanda. Silver Sable, she asked Myron Gaines, who hurt you? Myron showed her he understood why she asked the question. That turned her on, and they may or may not have smashed. So those are the three most common reasons women use the who hurt you shaming tactic. But now I'm going to point out the two reasons this particular shaming tactic is fraudulent and why. The first reason is that women are snowflaking when they ask who hurt you. Stay with me here, guys. By asking you this question, women and men are insinuating that there is only one female in existence ever capable of lying, cheating, and engaging in terrible behavior as a significant other. OMG, who was the one woman who committed these unspeakable crimes that I have never come close to even thinking about? I mean, I've read about these women, and I see them on TV, but I've never actually met one in real life. But you actually had a relationship with her. Tell me about her. Did she act the way she's portrayed in the legendary Lost Scrolls of the 1% of women who are terrible to men? They act like they think that nefarious, deceitful, and unfaithful women are as rare as Bigfoot. That's the first element. The second element is to directly insult you. Not only did you go against a centuries-old advice to disobey the wisdom of the Lost Scrolls, to stay away from those rare creatures that have only been photographed from afar, you were dumb enough to get in a relationship with her. You are so stupid that you committed to the one and only nefarious, deceitful woman who has ever existed in the history of time. Who hurt you? It was a girl named Victoria. That's her name? The one deceitful, nefarious woman's name is Victoria? That's who it is? Guys, this is bullshit. We know it, and they know it. Women know damn well how they operate. They know they monkey branch. They know they cheat. They know they lie. They know they make terrible wives, mothers, and girlfriends. But they want you to think that they're unaware of their own nature. The second reason this counter-argument is a fucking fugazi is that women act like it's one relationship with one woman that shaped our views in terms of how they move in relationships. As if to imply that all it took was one relationship with the only terrible woman who ever lived to come to the conclusions that we've come to. Women are acting like we all just decided to get together and make up stories about women. They're acting like we all just woke up one day and said to ourselves, hey, let's completely detonate the dating market by making up stories about how terrible women are. We'll make up stories about their lies. We'll come up with juicy stories about how they cheat. We can create an entire smear campaign and make them look bad. We'll even call this community the Red Pill. This is how they act, gentlemen. But the truth is, millions of men have had the same experiences with millions and millions of women. No man has ever formulated an opinion on relationships after just one relationship. When the same things continue to happen to him over and over again, and you hear about the same things happening to other men over and over again, you rightfully conclude that women behave in a particular way in relationships. That man eventually asks himself, am I the only one who's gone through this? Am I the only guy whose girlfriend cheated on me with her boss? Am I the only guy who acted like I was cool with her texting her ex only to find out she was still sleeping with him? Am I the only guy whose wife had another man's child while she was married to me? Am I the only guy whose wife took him to the cleaners in divorce court? Am I the only guy who got dumped by his girlfriend a week before spring break? Am I the only guy who got his girlfriend stolen by her personal trainer? Am I the only husband who ignored my wife's late night texting? Am I the only guy who found out his girlfriend was cheating on him 2 weeks before or 2 weeks after she told me I was husband material? Then, after he asks himself, he then asks the internet. And the internet clearly told him, no, you are most certainly not the only guy who has gone through this. Women love to play dumb, don't they? They love to give the impression that they are unaware of their own thoughts, actions, and motivations. They love to play dumb when their friends ask her, you know he wants to sleep with you, right? And they say, how dare you imply such things? I'll have you know that Mark's intentions are as pure as my chastity. Who hurt you is quite simply another shaming tactic in a long line of deflection techniques designed to make us think they have won the argument. But men here know that that is the opposite. The phrase, who hurt you, is womanese for you are right about me and every woman I know. But I can't acknowledge that you are right. Otherwise, I would have to pretend to be different. Ladies and gentlemen who are our haters, come up with something other than who hurt you. That shit's played the fuck out, and it's really only used by those who know they've lost the argument. The second brand of shaming language that the Flagrant 2 guys used is, you're playing games, right? You're using manipulative techniques to get girls to have sex with you. That is 648% wrong. And to explain this further, I'll talk about the typical dating arc of the rank and file Western woman, again, you know, in the rank and file Western man. Average woman, average man. Guys start sleeping with a girl, right? It's just casual sex, but they can't get enough of each other, right? The sex is good, they have fun with each other, everything's great. 2 weeks later, the guy asks the girl to be his girlfriend, and the girl says yes because she now has commitment, which every girl wants. As their relationship progresses, the guy's feelings start to get stronger, which makes him a little more territorial, right? Which is a natural male reaction. Before, he didn't really pay much attention to her going out with her friends to the bar at night, but she always ended up with him at the end of the night, so he never really sweated it. But now, He gets a little concerned about girls' nights out because, again, those feelings are involved. Which, again, is perfectly normal. It's a perfectly normal reaction. When they first started sleeping together, didn't really pay much attention to her phone buzzing at all hours of the night. He didn't have a problem with the fact that she always had her face in her phone. But now, every once in a while, he glances over to see who she's texting or who she's responding to on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. He wonders who she's Snapchatting to. He wonders if she's still on Tinder. You see, during the honeymoon phase, he didn't really pay much attention when she started talking about her Ivisuba, spelled backwards, controlling ex, who, by the way, she texts every once in a while, which wasn't a problem before because there were no real feelings involved other than lust and euphoria. But now that they're in a relationship and Akash and Alex pay attention, he's not so keen on letting her keep in contact with her ex. So all of these habits, traits, and characteristics that she displayed in the beginning when there was no commitment outside of sex are still around even though they are now in a relationship. And this is where men like Akash and Alex go wrong, and it's 3 major areas. Akash and Alex, if you're listening, if you're watching, you need to listen to this. The first area men like Akash and Alex go horribly wrong is not paying attention to who she really is when your brain is flooded with dopamine and serotonin. You see, during that honeymoon phase, you are completely blinded by the fact that she has more than a few garden tool tendencies and displays them on the regular in front of you because you're sleepwalking through your interactions with her. The second area men like Akash and Alex go wrong is not setting boundaries with your actions when she acts, does, or says anything that single girls do or say, like going to the club, going to the bar, texting her ex, disappearing for hours at a time. Stop me if you've heard these before. Again, she's not your girlfriend, so doing these things doesn't violate any commitment, but if you don't withdraw your attention like I talked about earlier, when she acts like she's single with or without you, guess what? She's going to assume that it's okay to act single even after you're in a relationship with her. Rewarding her with your continued attention when she texts her ex or goes to the club, that sets the tone for later on. And because you are completely oblivious to the habits and tendencies that are bad for relationships, because you're not paying attention like I just said, you don't withdraw your attention like you should to let her know that you're not going to reward her with more attention when she acts like she's single. Now, as a side note, Akash and Alex, if you know you don't give a damn about the girl, if you know she's insufferable and can't stand being around her outside of sex, then there's no need to pay attention to any of this stuff, right? Listen, you're not going to care about it anyway because she'll just be another notch in your belt. But if the girl you're sleeping with is actually decent company, you're susceptible to catching feelings. We all are. We're human. We're not robots. The third area that men like Akash and Alex go wrong, and this is the biggest area, and I've talked about this recently many, many times, is telling a girl you want a relationship before she tells you she wants one. The reason, Akash and Alex, this is always a mistake, is because when you ask a girl to be your girlfriend, what you're telling her is that she has fulfilled all the requirements to earn your commitment. You're telling her that there's nothing she needs to change and that there's nothing she needs to do. You're not saying this out loud with your mouth, but this is what you are telling her when you ask her to be your girlfriend first. You can't ask a girl to be your girlfriend and then tell her what your requirements are. It doesn't work that way. This is why girls react with accusations of possessive, controlling, and toxic when you try to set boundaries after you commit to her. What you're doing here really is essentially pulling a bait and switch. You're telling a girl indirectly telling a girl she meets all of the requirements for your commitment, then adding more commitment or more requirements. Right? Think of it this way. It's like negotiating the price of a car and paying, $10,000 for it. Then a week later, the seller or the dealer calls you back and says, hey, you got to pay an additional $5,000 if you want us to mail you the title. You're going to have a fucking problem with that, as you should. Well, in that same vein, girls have a huge problem with guys who commit to them and then try to set boundaries and expectations. And when you do this to girls, they feel like they've been cheated or tricked because they can't really describe what happened. So what do? They resort to their default programming, which is to call you insecure, possessive, and controlling. This is why a lot of girls describe their relationships as perfect in the beginning, because these guys committed first, which they took to mean that they didn't have to change anything to earn his commitment, which all girls love. Of course she thinks it's perfect. All she has to do is exist, and she gets what she wants without having to change anything. Girls love getting things they do not have to work for, especially commitment. Then when he tries to lay down the law when he didn't before, that's when she describes her boyfriend as becoming toxic. So here's another lesson for Alex and Akash if they're watching. Never, and I mean never, commit to a female before she expresses interest in a relationship. And when she does, put her through her paces and make her earn your commitment. Akash and Alex, you guys are both decent looking guys. You guys can get sex anywhere. But she needs a reason to give you, she needs to give you a reason outside of sex to commit to her. At which point you can now vocalize your requirements for your commitment. And I know Alex and Akash, I know you guys are probably scoffing at this, right? You guys are probably scoffing at this, you know, but I'm just telling you guys from personal experience. Do not throw your leverage and ability to dictate terms, that's right, dictate terms, as you were the man with the leverage, by asking her for her commitment first. Wait for her to express interest first. Well, what if she never expresses interest? Then she doesn't want your commitment. Well, what if she's waiting for you to express interest? Then she wants your commitment without having to work for it, which means she's waiting for you to give up your leverage so she can have her cake and eat it too, literally. Guys like Akash and Alex think they know it all. They think that they're enlightened because they're on this popular podcast. I'm here to tell you, there are a lot of guys with a huge following who have no fucking idea what they're talking about. And I'm not going to be too hard on Akash and Alex. I'm going to try not to be. I can really just sort of charge this up to that you just don't know. That doesn't mean that you're stupid. That doesn't mean you're bad people. But you really have to sort of think about things like virtue signaling when you've got guys like Myron and Fresh in your studio. Like, just because you guys have what, 500,000 subscribers? Just because you have 500,000 subscribers telling you that you're right, you got to understand, man. You got to understand. You really got to know what you're talking about. This community doesn't exist for no reason. What we talk about here is the truth. Whether you want to admit it or not, whether you want to acknowledge it or not, it's the truth. And one way or another, Akash and Alex, you are going to learn. You can either learn the easy way or you can figure it out the hard way. Either way, you're going to find out. And that's the memo. All right. Very, very good. Okay. So let me check my... Wow. 826 of you in here. 826 of you in here. I appreciate the likes here. Oh my God, that water is so good. Devin, if you're watching, please bring me up another bottle of water. All right. I'll wait for a few minutes more. Before I switch this over to SharpStream. I don't think they're going to give me permission. To use their video. And listen, doing this episode is not worth losing my YouTube channel over. So what you guys need to do, you need to download the app. Download the app, sharpstream.com. And yes, I do apologize that I didn't turn off the sound from the typing. You guys are like, oh my God, you're typing. There's no more typing. Go to the App Store. Go to the Google Play Store. Download SharpStream. Download the SharpStream app. It is absolutely free. You can watch this entire breakdown absolutely free. And if you are a Patreon member or a SharpStream member, you can watch the replay. Oh, thank you. You bought me two. You're trying to get me out of the... Why are you turning your head? You're not on camera. Oh, wait a minute. Yes, you are.
I just woke up.
God. Yeah, Devin took a midday nap today. It's one of the luxuries we have. Very good stuff. Very, very good stuff. Let's see. Super chat's coming in hot and heavy. Varocon, I hope that's how you pronounce that, says, Donovan, I wish you did a podcast with Flagrant 2. You destroy them. By the way, the guy on the couch that in that podcast low-key agrees with Fresh and Fit, I think. Yeah, the guy with the dating app, he had like all the dating app statistics. Yeah. XTuroX, $2, says, the show was a effing joke. Myron couldn't finish the sentence. That's just how it is, man. That's how these people are. Cage Jackson, $5 says Akash called them childish, but he only been with one woman, so you don't know about dating. He kept saying, I know a guy, exception to the rule, shaking my head. Yeah, Akash is one of these dangerous, ignorant dudes. This dude has only had sex with one woman and he married her. And you want to know something? That's actually a good thing. He is experiencing the bliss of being with the only woman that he has had sex with. But if you've only had sex with one woman, you can't speak with authority on dating. That's just, I mean, like, Akash was out of pocket there. Dude, Akash was so out of pocket. Like, Akash is so ignorant. And you can be ignorant and just shut the fuck up. No, Akash was da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Akash, my man. Your notch count is 1, fam. And listen, I commend you for that. I think it's beautiful to be married to the only woman that you've ever had sex with. You know, and hopefully you're the only guy she's ever had sex with. If that's the case, then you guys are good to go. You guys are good to go. But don't then come over here and talk to Myron and Fresh, who have banged countless broads. Tell them that they're childish and they don't know what they're talking about. Fuck out of here with that, with your ignorant ass. I can't stand dudes like Akash. It's one thing to be ignorant, but it's another thing to act like you are, like you're on some sort of moral high ground. And Alex too. What a bitch made ass nigga. Jesus fucking Christ. Okay. Nope. I do not have the email. So guys, you're going to have to, no, I always point the wrong day. Nope. It's this way. Nope. This way. So guys, download the free app. You can watch SharpStream. For free on your phone. Sharpstream.com. And again, it's available for Android and iOS. That's the breakdown scene right there. I've got the video all queued up. If you want to watch this breakdown, download the SharpStream app right now. So I am going to say, actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and make the transition. Yeah, let's go ahead and make the transition now. So I'm going to say goodbye to my Twitch audience. I'm going to say